everybody, welcome to my channel, Miss Criticizer 2021. Hope you all are doing well. First of all, I want to give you all a special thanks to my new viewers, new subscribers. Thank you so much. I did not know that video would have so many views. As you know, usually I speak about pageant news, issues within the pageant world, and so many other controversial things. So that was nothing new. If you're here for the very first time again, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. In case you've been living under a rock, Rachel Gupta, who was Miss Grand last year, 2024, came out and she exposed the Miss Grand organization and the ordeal that she had to go through in the hands of the Miss Grand organization. She released a lengthy YouTube video where she went deep into details, and I sympathized with her, and that video was met with mixed reviews. Some people said she was lying. Some people said there are two sides to a story, which of course I agree. Some people said that because she did not get her way, she basically had to come out before the Miss Grand organization had to come out, because basically she was already dethroned. Some said that she had a diva attitude, and if things did not go her way, then oh well, what is it? And so many other controversial news. So that's nothing new. Opinions would always come. And me, the way I am, of course, my channel, we always support the queens. This is not the first time that I've supported a queen who basically had an issue, altercation, or any type of issue with her organization. Yeah. In my previous video, I said even though I supported Rachel, which I still do, yeah, until the truth comes out, I said that hopefully she has backed up receipts that back her claim. So many other things. So for me, the angle that I was coming from is that I would not be surprised if Miss Grand actually acted like that, because in the past they have shown unprofessional behavior. Yes, and I have a couple of videos to back this up.
Rewind.
It's useless. What she wants is to get attention. Rachel did nothing wrong, but whether Miss France feels good or bad depends, and Miss France will never work with MGI again. She is not our family. Now to Mr. Nawat, yeah, the CEO of Miss Grand and all that. I have advice for him, yeah. The statement you put out is very unprofessional. I'm not going to lie. It's very, very, very unprofessional. You let your PR person handle that statement. Look, you have every right to do what you want to do. I'm not here to tell you what you should or what you should not do. If you feel like Safiatou has disrespected Rachel in public, fine. If you feel you don't want to work with her anymore, fine. I don't know what happened behind the scenes, but fine. But your PR people should have released that statement, and not you as a CEO. It comes off very, very unprofessional. And the way you put that statement, if I'm from another country and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm interested in Miss Grand, let me participate, I would not even want to buy a franchise from your organization. Yes, I've praised Miss Grand a few months ago in comparisons to Miss Universe, when I dragged Anne and the whole team. And I've praised Miss Grand, but I'm also unbiased. Yeah, I can call out when something is wrong. Yeah, you don't put out a statement of saying, oh, she's seeking attention, she disrespected Rachel, she's not our family. I'm sorry, but that's very disrespectful. If your PR team could release a statement, they would have just said, it's our deepest regret that we will no longer be working with Miss Grand France due to so and so reasons. You don't even need to say the specific.
Half an hour you will post after me. You not resign. I kick you out, you know. You are not quality enough. You never beautiful from inside. Even she warning me, if I say something to the social, she will sue me. Coming to sue me, please. Coming now. Coming, please. Coming to Thailand. Nothing for charity. But when you went to Czech Republic to crown Miss Grand Czech, you said 1,000. It's not her standard. We must more blah 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 blah. Oh, she thinks she's so famous. นะเขาคงไม่น่ามืดนะไปวุ่นวายนะฮะคงจะละเมออะฮะนะฮะแล้วก็ไม่มีใครเขาอยากได้แบบนั้นหรอกครับเพราะว่ารักแร้น้องเหม็นมากจริงครับนะ she very smell armpit a lot นะกลิ่นมาเลยจริง
He talks about these girls as if they're products, as if they're object. Talking about I just don't get it. You're not quality enough. Talking in such a demeaning manner, and you're supposed to be a company. You cannot deal with things in a diplomatic way. Talking about armpits smelling, she may have this, she may have that, not black enough, this and that. I'm sorry, but oh my god. Anyway,
I feel, is this how a director speaks? Yeah, very, very unprofessional. And we saw it. Now, some people might think, oh, he's direct, this is how they are. No problem. But to me, if this is how you can talk about people, if this is how you can talk down on people, I would not be surprised what else you could do just because of how you presented yourself. Yes, I'm sorry. Until the proof comes out. Now, to make a long story short, the beautiful, lovely Filipino queen, CJ Opiaza, she has finally arrived in Thailand to claim her crown. Because since the dethronement of Rachel, somebody has to take over. So she came and they had a lovely press interview and they did the crowning ceremony. And I'm asking myself this. She looks stunning, by the way. She looks beautiful. I'm happy for her. But I personally, if I were her, I would feel like a second choice. Yeah. How many months do you have left? 5 months. 5 months. 5 to 4 months. Especially after somebody spoke. But hey, a crown is a crown. You will gladly take it. I'm not judging. She's free to do whatever she likes. Yeah, but I personally would look at Miss Grant sideways. And me personally, I would not like my name or my brand to be attached to it. Now, that's not to say I will not be reviewing Miss Grant. This is a pageant channel, but I have eagle eyes on how they work at the back of my mind. And it's not only Miss Grant, it's also other pageants. Yes, it's also other pageants. So for me, there's no smoke without fire. If the proof comes, and unfortunately it claims that Rachel is lying, based on what they have proved, then okay, I will take back what I said. But on how it's looking like, we just need to see and wait how it is. So Rachel basically uploaded the YouTube video where she had to air it out, take her time to explain some things. Because sometimes it's easy for you to explain and talk about your situation when you're alone in your own space and you can process it, document everything. And now she's giving out her press conference and formally saying goodbye to everybody, thanking of everybody for their support, wishing Opiaza a good reign. At the end of the day, they're all pageant sisters. And also probably that since this allegation came out, Opiaza might probably not be treated like that. She will probably be treated better because nobody wants any speculation. Now, my assumption, did they treat all the winners? Did they treat all the Miss Grand winners in a good way or not? I think it differs. I think they knew who to treat better and the ones they definitely know not to treat better. I think they were very, very selective on who they can try their BS on. Now, this is my opinion. Everything is allegedly. Everything is alleged, but this is just my opinion. I think there are some queens that they tread carefully with because they came with what? With one, heavy financial backing. Two, with maybe a certain type of influence. Three, with, who knows, popularity. There was something about them. Politics.
so first of all, I'm just going to highlight a couple of things that Rachel said in her press conference, and then I'll just play the rest of her video till the end for those who have not watched it. It's just critical thinking that I'm applying here. Yes, I am on Rachel's side. I'm not hiding it. I am taking a risk. Some people said there are two sides to a story and all that. And yes, I agree. Every story has two sides. I am going to apply critical thinking and just ask a couple of questions. Yeah. In regards to her stipend, she was talking about the prize money. She was also talking about the stipend, her allowance, and all that. She basically said she has only received it for 1 month. In the contract, I hope that's specified in the contract, because if that is not specified in the contract, then Ms. Grant is in their right to do whatever they want. If it is in the contract, like I said, this is something you can use. Yeah. And also, we need the proof of this. I know that Rachel, to be honest, she has come out. What she's saying, it looks like it makes sense, but I've been asking for proof. So we need proof of that. Now, in regards to the sexual harassment, I wish she could just go deep into detail with it, not taking away from it. We know how some of these ladies get objectified when it comes to the pageant. They just basically see you as a product. Now, I know that she said that them commenting about your body, that's sexual harassment. It's not direct, but it is sexual harassment. um I'll say it can be two sides of the coin. It's not nice how they objectify women and how they talk about women, but unfortunately a pageant queen has become a product, if that makes sense. I'm not condoning what they're doing, but you've basically become the product. They want you to have a certain look. It's almost when it comes to the music industry, modeling, you name it, everything, it's all about looks. They don't want you to gain weight. They don't want you to get darker by the sun. They want you to be slim. They want you to be tall. They want you to be able to kind of sell a product if they are marketing items that are sponsored by the good, by some things. So that is a bit of a 50-50 thing. I will say it's, again, sexual harassment comes in various ways. I will say sexual harassment is if somebody touches you in an inappropriate way, basically, I don't know, your private parts, your just basically touching you how you're not even supposed to be touched. Basically directly R-ing you. I cannot say the full word. Basically talking about you in a sexual derogatory way of the unspeakable things they would like to do to you. Just basically all that. But and I'm not defending Nawat. I think it's also awful to be objectifying women like this, but unfortunately, this is almost like the beauty industry or the modeling industry, where they basically want you to have a certain look because you're marketable. At the end of the day, you're their brand ambassador and they want you to have a certain look. But somebody that knows even the modeling industry, the things that were being said, it's very, very painful. But hence why you kind of see why the law doesn't really deal with that. Unless she can go deep into detail what was really sexually done. But she handled this press conference very well. She spoke in a very articulate way. She made her points across. Like I said, I wish she added a couple of her receipts just to back up the claim. We want to see the state of the house that they put her in. We want to see payment proof. We want to see, well, sharing contract, I understand, is very confidential. Certain things are very confidential, but there are certain things she could have sent. Text messages, all that. I want mess. I know it's very, very messy, but yeah. Because Nawat is out here trying to defend himself, trying to slander her. Basically, I've seen the screenshots. He's basically going in on her. And you know what? To defame her, we already know that. And they'll say, you see, she's lying. So, like I said, it's two side of the coins. It is going to unravel. But yeah, this press conference, I felt she was very, very prepared. And she basically stated out her grievances. Yeah, it's quite sad that this had to happen. Your happiest time, it ends up being a nightmare. They'll basically call her diva, hard to work with. Um, Nawat, I know Nawat would definitely make sure she's not getting any kind of job in Thailand. She's basically blackballed. But you know what? She has the support of her country. She can just move on. She had a couple of advice for the new Miss Grant, who is the fellow runner-up, and yeah, wishing her that she would not have to go through this. And like I've mentioned before, there are certain queens that went through this and some not. They knew whom to mess with and they knew whom not to mess with. Because in another video, which I will do, her predecessor, she came out and spoke in defense of Miss Grant and basically dragged Rachel for speaking her truth. But just because it did not happen to you does not mean it cannot happen to somebody else. Hence why I give everybody a fair shot. Anyway, watch this video and drop your comments below. Thank you.
Of enduring all of the difficulties I was put through by the Miss Grand International organization. A few days ago, I decided to officially resign, step down from my title, and return the crown back to the organization. The Miss Grand organization, I had been speaking to them, requesting them to. 7 months later, I've only visited one country. I was harassed time and time again by the organizers, by the owners in particular, by Nawat and Teresa, for your safety and no respect for humans whatsoever. With my contract, like I said, I fulfilled every single obligation that was mine. I attended every event. I did whatever was asked of me. Their contract is extremely exploitative. It only benefits them. I was asked to sign the contract immediately after winning. And of course, who isn't going to sign when you've won for your country for the very first time? And I'm all by myself. I don't hear anything from them at all. This is not what was in our contract at all. So these are the reasons why I chose to step down, because no girl should have to live under these conditions. No one should have to listen to the abuse, listen to the derogatory comments made by the organization would give to a human who is working for you.
So you mentioned about sexual harassment. When did that happen, and did you not complain about it?
So the organizers have a very long history of sexually harassing women in front of the whole world in terms of the kind of comments they make, the derogatory remarks. It started in, I guess, when their pageant started. There's a history back in 2015 with Miss Iceland, in 2022 with Miss Vietnam. And you can imagine, when working with such an organization, two things are relevant. Is that, number one, I had a front row seat to all these statements. When we were judging the Miss Grand Thailand shows, or any shows really, I have a front row seat to hear all of the disgusting, defamatory, derogatory remarks they make about women, about their bodies, about just the most irrelevant things. You know, it used to make me feel ashamed that I'm sitting next to these people. And it started with me pretty early on, of course. I understand that when you're in such a position, you need to maintain your physique. You need to maintain a certain thing. That's in the contract, right? I'm not allowed to go above a certain weight or below a certain weight. But there is a way to handle that as well. They used to send their representatives to come to me to pinch different parts of my body. You need to lose weight here. You need to lose weight there. This who I am as a person, but that was not true at all. And you can see, after telling the world that sexually harassed comments were made against me, after telling the world, what was their response? They post on their story, Nawat posts on his story, to sexually harass me further, zooming in on parts of my body to show the world and to spread his lies against whatever campaign he's decided the story he's decided to tell the world. So, I mean, it's so clear right here. I said that this is how they treat girls, and he just does it in front of the whole world. And now entire members of their organization are making videos about my body, my behavior, such targeted videos, posting about my family as well, about their faces. Incredibly complicated, because there is so much attention on me at the moment, and it's to know the truth about what happens when they join this organization.
Ma'am, क्या आपको लगता है अगर manipulation हुई है?
My safety is guaranteed, because they have launched that. Me sitting here today is the biggest example. If you feel exploited, harassed, or uncomfortable, you stand up and you speak for yourself. I gave up my crown after 3 or 4 years of working hard. I gave up my crown with the whole world watching me. I gave up my crown while an organization that has stood for over a dozen years targeted me to ruin my reputation. If I can do that, you have the strength to stand up for yourself as well. Do not accept disrespect or ill treatment or harassment from someone who doesn't see your value.